Hi guys, so today we're going to be making a duct tape wallet like this one here. Now as you can see, I have lots of money. Ooh. And I can also keep all of my cards as well. So it's quite a complex project and we're going to make a start on that right now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a piece of paper or card. And what this is going to do, this is going to act as the net for our wallet. It'll just make things a little bit easier for you. I'm going to use a Sharpie pen so you can see all of my lines and hopefully make things just a little bit easier to follow. The first thing we're going to do is have our paper in landscape. And then we're going to come from the top all the way down to 190 and put a little mark. And then we're going to come to the other side, 190, and put a little mark. Now, as you can see, I'll use my ruler and then just draw the line like so. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, along the line we've just made and on the parallel edge on the opposite side, we're just going to hold our ruler there and we're going to do one mark at 80 and then one mark at 140, keeping the ruler in place. We'll do the same on the bottom at 80 and at 140. And now we'll simply join those up like so. Now, just so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, I'm not going to be using any scissors because that relies on me lifting up the paper and then trying to cut around. I'm just going to use a knife, oops daisy, so that I can keep it relatively flat and you can see all the cuts that I want to make. We're going to start off, we're not going to cut this one, this is going to actually be a fold. So I'm going to come to this one here and I'm just going to cut all of the way through. Okay, we'll need that in a minute, so we're going to keep that right there. This area here, as you can see, that one there is waste area. So we want to remove that now. Okay, that bit we can just throw away. Now, this is the first part. We just need to form that crease. If you're using a biro, you'll actually find a little bit of pressure on that paper. It should just fold quite easily. If you didn't have a biro and you use a pencil, just very carefully fold it along that line and we should be good to go. Okay, so that's the main body of the wallet. What we need to do now is create the two pockets. Now the pockets are going to be 40 by 90. So we need to create two rectangles of that size. So I'm going to use that existing line. And I'm going to put a 90 there. I'm just going to come to the other side and put a 90 there. Doesn't really matter at this moment in time how far down we go, but I'm just going to go all the way. Okay, so that there is the bit I don't want, and that there is the bit I don't want as well. So from this line here, we need to mark 40 and then 80. 40 and then 80. Okay. Now I chose to go along that line there, but if you went here, you'd have one less cut to do, which would be absolutely fine as well, because we're just looking to make the two rectangles. rid of that, get rid of that. What we have now, if I can finally pick them all up. So if we fold that to there, this one will go here, and this one will go here. And as you can see, just hold that like that. You'll have your place for your money, and then 2 pockets for your cards. Okay, so one really important thing to note here is we're going to fix these with a little bit of tape to the main body. We must line them up with the crease, not the top there. Okay, it must go to here. So I'm just going to hold that down there like that. Take a small amount of tape and just place that there. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to hold that in place. Small bit of tape, and it's now there. Okay. Just because I like things to be done well, I'm going to stick a little bit on the back, just so whilst we're manhandling this net, it doesn't fall apart. The next stage is we need to cover one side completely in duct tape. So, first things first, pick your colour. Okay, staff will now hand out a piece of duct tape. What we're going to do is we're going to have it sticky side up. Now this is the bit you've got to be really careful with, okay? We're going to lay the first one down. Now I'm just going to use the knife just so you can see quite clearly, hopefully. And get that one out of the way. Now we've got that like that. It is really, really sticky. And all I'm going to do for this first side, I'm actually just going to line it up with the top edge as best I can. Okay. And then all we need to do, as we go along, we're just going to use our scissors and just cut off the excess. Okay. Now I did get go over a little bit here, so I'm just not going to worry too much. I'm just going to flick it over, as I don't really fancy trying to cut a piece so thin. So if that's happened to you, just do that. Okay, we're now going to take another piece. We're going to give it a cut. Now, if you find it easy to do it this way, that's absolutely fine, but just be mindful that you can't let this catch on itself. So the alternative to the way I'm doing it is to kind of hold it, overlap it, and then just push it down, and then hopefully you don't get any bubbles. So whichever way it feels the most comfortable for you. You do end up having to keep on peeling it off the table though. I'm just going to remove those like that. Okay. Now we are just going to repeat probably another 2 times, then we'll have every part of this side covered. And this is where, as I was saying earlier, if you've got a long piece, it's really difficult sometimes to keep it taut, but it's up to you. And then this again, just keep cutting these edges. Now you might be wondering why we're not just folding them over. Every time we fold over a piece of this duct tape, we're going to add an extra bit of thickness to the wallet, which will make it quite bulky if we don't remove this excess material. So that's why we're doing this. you'll be using scissors, so just make sure you take your time, as the duct tape may get a little bit sticky. As you can see, just one more left. Now, just going to overlap that there, place it down. And then voila, one side done. Okay. So there we go. Now, making sure everything here is covered, you should have a water resistant wallet. So that's why we're going to cover both sides. It's just so that you know, if it gets a little bit wet, it's not going to fall apart. We're now going to do the same again on this side, but we are going to now start to fold over some of the edges a little bit. Okay. Let's make a start then. Now, the only difference now with what we just did is I'm going to get this top edge over by about 10 millimeters, and I'm going to place it down. Now, we're going to create like a glue tab on all these sections. It'll make folding the whole wallet a little bit easier. So the first thing we're going to do is slice that edge and then that edge. Now you want to add a slight taper to these here. So if you can see, what I'm going to do is that, okay? See again. And then just fold the wallet over. Okay, let's seal that top edge for us. Now, if you've got Mr. Wood in your form, he'll just be ripping this with his teeth or something, which is fine because we'll neaten it up afterwards. Oops, a daisy. See how it's really sticky? Hopefully I haven't completely ruined that. No, perfect. Now, these sides need to come off. Come about halfway on that pocket down. Now this is the time where we need to add another tab. Sorry guys, radio's on. So we'll take that edge off. Let me take this edge off, and we're going to add a little bit of a taper. Now to do that on these ones, if you just went in like that, you've got this piece here, haven't you? So we've also got to then just cut that little piece off. So you end up with something that looks a little bit like that. And then we're just gonna cut that one and then fold him over. And that seals that top edge. Should be one more length. Taper. Taper. And remove that little triangle section. There we go. You will find, I mean, just as you can see here, I'm getting a nice little pile of just odds and ends of duct tape. Just keep them all together and they should just come off in one. Fold it up there, that, fold it up there, and finally, a bit of a taper on these. And then fold that edge over. So, we've now got a completely covered duct tape wallet net. Okay then, so you need to fold the pockets over like this. Okay, now at the moment they're just going to keep springing because we've got a lot of duct tape now that's going to want to fall back out. So as you can see, there's a small little gap between the two. That just helps to separate the two pockets so we get the cards in and out nice and easily. Helps with folding the wallet at the very end, but it also gives us a point to stick duct tape down to hold these two inside the wallet. So this bit can be a little bit tricky. If it helps, you might want to put a weight of some sort on. Okay. So the plan is we're going to stick this piece of duct tape all the way across, pretty much just below the line of the pocket. If you could get it smack bang on the top edge, that would be great, but don't worry. A little bit down, all the way over to seal this edge up and then attach the centers. Okay, so all I'm going to do is stick it to the table. And I'm going to bring it in and then down. Pushing it all the way down nice and firmly. Now that's the easiest way of doing it, using the table as like an anchor point. Okay. So, then we're just going to trim off the excess. And now, you should be able to fold this back on itself, and we've got everything sealed up at the bottom. All lovely. And then we're going to obviously fold the wallet over. You can see now the last thing we need to do is just cover these ends. So, I prefer to hold a little piece of the tape there. We're going to come and hold it about halfway over. Touch down. Press down nice and firmly. Remove the excess. Now, as you can see, when I was talking about a glue tab of some sort, if this came out here, that would make a real mess. So we want to, it's easier and less damaging to the design if we just taper them in slightly. Perfect. Now, holding everything down firmly, just really press down. Okay. So there's one issue now, and only the one. We've actually glued that pocket shut and this pocket shut a little bit. So with your scissors, you're just gonna cut a little slit there and there, okay? I'm gonna do it with the knife, so hopefully you can see it. We're gonna go there, and we're just gonna run the scissor down there, and the scissor down there, and then it'll just pop open. Now just neaten it up with your fingers, press it down. So there you go. So one more to do. Halfway on, press down. Remove the excess. This is the stickiest stuff ever, guys, so you're probably getting quite frustrated with it now because it's probably stuck to your face. Now, the last one, over we go. Press down firmly. Now, you can start now to just really work all of those joins because we don't want anything coming apart, do we? There we go. So, ta-da! Give it a good fold. Now, what's going to happen initially is pop. It's just going to want to keep opening up. That's because it's brand new. The material on the center hasn't had a chance to kind of just deform and form that lovely crease. So what you can do is just peg it along here or clamp it. I've got these, but closed pegs would be great. You can just leave them like that, just holding it shut for a little bit overnight, and you'll find it'll start to form. But there's no greater way of breaking the wallet in than actually filling it with some stuff and just sticking it in your pocket when it's closed. Thanks, guys. Okay, so you've finished your wallet and you've got a few colours hopefully in front of you to choose from in order to decorate it as well. You may have gone for a camouflage wallet, but you might want to add a little bit of extra detail to it. Now's the time to do that. If you want to, you can get some small strips of duct tape and then add some extra designs to the front, maybe just one strip going down or one strip going across, just a little something just to jazz it up a little bit. So this is now yours. Make it pretty.